go right into this lesson tonight. I want to tell you, if you prepare to write down, and I want to encourage you to keep your notes that you're writing. Those are actually keepsakes, and this is a great opportunity for you to gather information. I want you to write down on your paper, write down Bible structure. So the first thing you write down is Bible structure. As I said to the church on Sunday, and I mentioned that what we're going to look at tonight is literally priceless. It is priceless. You have to go to a Bible college to get the kind of information we're going to give you tonight. You would have to do in-depth research. And so by no means are you getting anything that just anybody can get, any individual can get. Normally when you get this kind of information, it is because you are a Bible student, disciplined in study, and you're looking for that extra. You're going beyond the normal. Because in actuality, the average individual probably will never ever open their Bible outside of church and study. And so if you are an individual who is seeking more knowledge and more information, then you're one of those individuals. The average person doesn't even understand the way the Bible is made. And it can be very difficult when you don't understand the way this Bible is put together. It can be very difficult if you're going through a trial or a test and you need to hear something that will encourage you, that will inspire you, and you pick up your Bible and you say, okay, where do I read at? What should I read that will encourage me? What area should I look into? And so that is the purpose of this tonight, to make it easy for you that are here to pick up your Bible and know the outline of the Bible. So you want to write Bible structure. Underneath Bible structure, I want you to write many pieces to one puzzle, because there are many pieces to one puzzle. Many pieces to one puzzle. I want to try to cover as much that I can tonight. I also know that I'm going to take next class as well to go into the structure, because I won't be able to do it all tonight because of the vastness of the chapters that are in this Bible. When you understand this Bible can be a great experience to you and a great help. I thank God for giving me the opportunity to learn my Bible, and I'm going to share something with you. I want you to write down this right underneath this. Write down, Israel's battles were physical. Write that down so you'll know Israel's battles were physical. When we pick this Bible up, all of the battles that the people in this Bible that he talks about, they had a physical battle. Physical. They fought physical wars, just like right now. When you look at, sometimes we look at the news and they're over in Lebanese and Palestine, they're still fighting. Whether you know it or not, these are descendants of the Bible that we're reading. They are direct descendants. And there's still some disputes that have not been settled. We don't know about it because it doesn't have anything to do with us. We're Gentiles. We're not of Jewish descent or Palestinian descent. We don't live in those countries. We live in America. And so it has nothing to do with us. So when we look at the news, we wonder what in the world is going on over there. Why are those individuals fighting? But when you get the Bible and you start reading the Bible and you start pulling out different individuals and different people in the Bible, and you trace that, you will understand that a lot of stuff is going on right now that started out in the history of this Bible. And because we're on the outside looking in, we don't pay any attention to it. We think it has nothing to do with us. We're not threatened by anything. We live in America. We're free. But they're fighting, and whether we know it or not, right under America's nose, the Bible is being fulfilled. One right under our nose. right? While people are going to work every day, people are going to work every day, people living their everyday life. And this natural mind, the natural mind does not receive the things of the Spirit of God. They are foolishness. That's why the average person is not paying attention to God right now. Does not know anything about God, does not seek to know anything about God. All they know is they get up every day, they live, they breathe, and that's all they're about. But when you come into the knowledge of God and understand the purpose of the church, understand the purpose of this Bible, and you begin to read the Bible, it really can enrich your life and make it more effective. I want you to write down, as we move now into Old Testament, because I chose the Old Testament first. I'm going to try to get into the New Testament, because that's where the greatest challenge in this Bible is going to be, in the Old Testament. When you open your Bible up and you start with Genesis and you go in the Old Testament, you need to understand what that structure is about. I'm going to go only so far, because if I were to really break this Bible down, if I started in Genesis, I would have to take you through the entire chapter of Genesis and just peel back every single event of creation that happened, every single thing that took place, in order for you to get an in-depth understanding about it. But what I want to do is take you to the point where when you look at it, you'll have an outline and you'll say, okay, this is the Old Testament. Underneath the Old Testament, in parentheses, write New Testament concealed, because that's why there's an old and there's a new. Now for the word testament, write covenant, because that's what this Bible is about. There's an old covenant, there's a new covenant. Okay? So there's a New Testament, which is a new covenant. But the Old Testament, the way this Bible is written, the Old Testament is really the New Testament, but it's concealed. And the reason why it is concealed, because unless you delve into it and read it and research it, there are things in the New Testament. We are the New Testament church. Write that down so you know. We are the New Testament church. We're not the Old Testament church. We're the New Testament. We're the New Testament church. Church today is the New Testament church worldwide. So we're dealing with the Old Testament, and we understand that the Old Testament, this Bible, is New Testament concealed. Okay? So we want to write that down. Now, I'm going to tell you something about preaching that a lot of people, you need to understand why preaching and teaching of Old Testament stuff. What does preaching do today? Why is preaching so necessary? Why does God call a man or a woman of God to go back into the Bible, pull out some facts from the Old Testament and the New Testament, and make it relevant for today? Because this Bible, even though it is old, was directed by the God that lives even today. And so we, as the New Testament people, now I want to share this. This is very important. I want you to write this down somewhere, because I tell a lot of people going to Bible college is not going to help you. If you're going to Bible college to get you a degree or get you a certificate to learn the Bible, that's not going to be enough, because all you're going to do is learn some structured information. If you don't know how to take that information and apply it even today in your everyday life, whether you're reading a Sunday school book, whether you're sitting here in the shepherd's class, whether you're listening to me when I'm speaking on a Sunday morning or Tuesday, a lot of people don't know what in the world is going on. That's why they wait for the excitement. They wait for the emotional part. They can identify with an expression. They can identify with feeling something. But most people do not know that if you read this Bible, when we read the Bible, we need to do a comparison. Write that down. It's very important for you. You have to do a comparison. Now, what kind of comparison are you doing? First of all, I didn't live in that time. Second of all, we don't live in that time, okay? I am not fighting a physical battle. I am not threatened by the Amorites coming at me to hit me upside my head. I'm not standing in front of rocks coming at me or having to dodge and deal with fiery darts that are coming at me. But how does this Bible, which is what throws a lot of people, how does the Bible that was written back then affect me today? First of all, I understand Israel fought physical battles. We deal with mental problems. We deal with emotional problems. We deal with financial problems. We deal with emotional challenges. So the things that we deal with are mental, they are physical, they are financial, they are emotional. Write that down. What you would always deal with will be physical in your body. It would be mental in your thoughts, in your mind. It will be emotional, how you feel in the seat of your feelings. And it will be financial. That's what we deal with today. So God has fixed it, whereas we can look at other people, other nations. We can see what they went through and then see how God helped them to go through what they went through. And we do a comparison. In other words, when I look and I see that they went through that and they made it, then I in turn use faith. That's where faith comes. That's why it's so important that you know your Bible. I need to help somebody tonight, because just sitting back waiting on somebody to say something to encourage you and inspire you, that is good, but it also can be bad. Because what happens if what you're waiting on don't come? What happens if you need to hear a specific thing and that specific thing is not said just by chance? But when you understand the structure of your Bible and you say, I need this, I need to hear this, then you'll know how to go to that Bible and say, okay, what chapter can I find that in? Where can I find that in the Bible, so that in between my time of coming to the house of God to hear the inspired word of the Lord, if I'm at home during the course of the week and I need to hear something that's going to motivate me or something to assure me and to inspire me, I know how to open this Bible and say, okay, I'm going to go read about this, because every time I read about that event, it blesses me. When I read about that, it's uplifting. When I read about that, that's inspiring. Well, that's going to help a person that knows the Bible. If you don't understand the Bible and you open the Bible, and I'm going to give you some good examples. Right now, I want you to write down 5 books of law. The first thing we go in the Old Testament, when you open your Bible, you're going to have 5 books of law. That's what this Bible is all about. When you open that Bible up and you go right into the Old Testament, which is why I approached it, you're dealing with 5 books of law. What does law have to do with you today? How can reading 5 books of law inspire you any kind of way? Israel is being taught by God how to become a living society. Laws, just like in Wisconsin, we got laws right now. Okay? Some of you break these laws every week. I know you do, and I'm going to tell you what that law is. You got a heavy foot. Sometimes you get in a hurry and you know the speed limit, you know it told you 35. But you in a hurry, and before you look up, you're doing 60. You're on the expressway and you can watch people drive right past you. The speed limit says 60 miles an hour. People fly right past you doing 75 and 80. And you're like, what in the world is wrong with them? Not paying attention. That law is there to govern what's happening, to stop some things from taking place, from